Hey everybody, it's Screw You again, and this time we're not actually going to watch one of my games, but I do know that my girlfriend is currently in the middle of her league match, so we are going to spectate that and make a video out of it without her consent. That's fine. That's okay though. So she is playing against Mr. TJ Moose. Let's see. I don't know exactly what's been going on throughout, but it looks like they've both gained a chapel. One person's gained a moneylender. It looks like that was him. And there's a market missing from the pile, which seems a little weird at this phase in the game. I think I'd buy market here, but I don't know if I would want it as my first 5. Anyway. Alright, so Jessica has, or Jsmo, sorry. Jessica's my pet name for her. Her name is Jsmo. She has complete control of her deck, and now she has an artisan, so I think she's in a pretty strong position. Her opponent has terminaled quite a bit here. Doesn't have quite as good control. We don't know. We haven't seen the first few turns of this game, so it's hard to tell if that's his fault for making bad decisions, or if maybe his chapel just missed the shuffle or something. So she gains a market with her artisan. I mean, that's fine, right? Like she had so she's undoing that. Like the market's fine. She's probably gonna top deck one of those actions. I would maybe go for a lab here because even though she drew her deck that one time, she's not always going to do it. And as she adds more stop cards to the deck, which are better for payload, the lab is going to be more impactful than that +5 from the market. But the market's fine too. It's not a bad card. It's just not the one I'd be buying. He's contemplating. He buys a smithy. A bold move. Considering how many terminals is that in his deck now? Does he have a village? He doesn't have a festival. He plays a smithy, draws 2 moneylenders and a copper. So you may have heard Adam start talking about like how smithy by itself, even though it says or things like it plus cards, isn't really draw unless it has village support. Unless you don't reduce the number of actions. He buys another moneylender. Is he trolling? But it doesn't reduce. It doesn't count as draw really by itself because it doesn't leave you with any actions by itself, and that makes a lot more sense when you look at that situation that just happened to TJ Moose, where he drew 3 cards with a smithy, but 2 of them were dead. So he increased his hand size by 2, but he didn't increase his effective hand size by any. He just drew a copper out of the smithy. So. Alright, so we have Jsmo hitting 10 and 2 buy. She grabs a gold. Yeah, gold's probably pretty decent. You know, you could be thinking about a second artisan here too. I don't know, maybe. I do think that she needs to be getting labs, though. I mean, like, need is kind of subjective here because I think she's really far ahead. But I think the optimal build path involves some labs for her. It would allow her to put another artisan in the deck, which would allow her to gain those 5 costs that are so delicious here twice as quickly. Festival Smithy is pretty good too, though. And now she's choosing, does she play her artisan or her chapel? And she plays the chapel to get rid of the copper in the estate. That's probably fine. Like, I don't know, that was not a super easy call for her. Um, and she draws a hand of just money. Wonder what she does with this. Like, normally you'd keep building at this point, but like, she could buy the province and it's probably fine. Opponent gets an artisan. He doesn't have enough terminals, so he wants to make sure he can get some. Right, so he plays a smithy, draws copper in 2 actions that he can't play, buys a silver. Silver is really good with smithy because you can draw it with the smithy if you don't have any actions and it doesn't screw you over. So like, I think Jessica's play here is to play the festival, then play the artisan to gain a lab, and then play the lab to draw back up. She instead plays out her turn a little bit differently. Gains a market off of her artisan. Yeah, she's got 9 and 2 buys. She buys the province, yeah. So like, this is early for greening. Like normally I would keep building here, but at the same time, this is probably fine too because and it's not just like she's so far ahead it doesn't matter what she does. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you recognize a window of when your deck is so much better than your opponent, sometimes the play is to capitalize on that by getting ahead on greening. So that by the time they do get their deck under control, you're hopelessly in the lead. Okay, she grabs a... what does she get? Province and a smithy. She's just going to keep building her deck and greening at the same time. That's a fine choice. He plays a market and a smithy, with which he draws a copper, a moneylender, and a smithy. He buys a silver, which again has natural synergy with the smithy. Because you can draw it. Did he just buy a copper? Why did he do that? Is it so that he would have something to trash with his moneylender? Alright. Well, hey, good news for TJ Moose. He doesn't have a smithy in hand, so he doesn't have to play one and draw 2 more actions in another comp. So, Jsmo plays 3 markets and gains her 5th province. And what are we going to see here? 6th century play. Do it. Okay, here we sign. A bold move. Yeah, so that was pretty decisive in Jsmo's favor. Looks like she got control of her deck a lot more quickly, but not just that, she also built a much more balanced composition than her opponent of, you know, payload and actions she could play. The opponent definitely over-terminaled quite a bit. But anyway, maybe they will go ahead and get another game in, but I'm going to cut this video off here. Just keep these short, and I'll see you next time.